Ah, high school art classes, the glorious realm where creativity flourishes and chaos reigns supreme. I remember walking into that classroom for the first time, surrounded by the scent of paint, the sound of laughter, and the unmistakable aura of impending disaster. It was like stepping into a carnival run by slightly unhinged clowns who all had a degree in how to make a mess. You could practically hear the whispers of tortured souls who had tried to create masterpieces, but instead ended up with something resembling a modern art exhibit gone wrong. Let's talk about the teachers. They were a peculiar breed, weren't they? Our art teacher, Ms. Thompson, had a wild mane of hair that looked like it had been styled by a tornado. She wore oversized glasses that magnified her eyes to the size of saucers, making her look perpetually surprised, as if she had just discovered that paint can stain anything it touches. She would glide around the room, clutching a paintbrush like it was a magic wand, ready to transform our stick figures into something profound. "Art is about self-expression," she would exclaim, as if self-expression could somehow explain why I had just painted a purple cow with a top hat. And then there were my classmates. Oh, the characters! There was Jake, the kid who believed he was the next Picasso, but his idea of abstract art involved slapping paint on the canvas and calling it the essence of chaos. He would stand there, arms crossed, nodding sagely as if he were channeling the spirit of the great masters. Meanwhile, I was just trying to figure out how to draw a straight line without it ending up looking like a drunken snake. Then there was Sarah, the self-proclaimed artistic genius, who would spend hours painstakingly sketching what she called the human experience. I'm pretty sure her human experience was just a series of sad-looking stick figures with exaggerated frowns. I admired her dedication, though. It takes a special kind of person to turn a simple drawing into an existential crisis. And let's not forget the supplies. The art room was a treasure trove of chaos. Paints in every color imaginable, all of which had mysteriously turned into a rainbow of goo by the end of the semester. I once found a half-empty bottle of neon green paint that looked like it had been used in a science experiment gone wrong. I had high hopes for it, thinking it would add a pop of color to my project. Instead, it became the highlight of my life as I accidentally knocked it over, creating what could only be described as a toxic swamp on the floor. Ms. Thompson's eyes widened in horror as she watched the green goo spread like a scene from a horror movie. "It's a metaphor for the destruction of nature, Aunt Simone," I shouted, desperately trying to redeem myself. Then there were the critiques. Ah, the critiques. Nothing quite like sitting in a circle, staring at each other's work, trying to come up with something profound to say about a piece that looked like it had been created by a toddler with a sugar high. "Your use of color is interesting," I would say, while secretly wondering if I could just draw a stick figure and call it a day. And the feedback. "I feel like this piece speaks to the inner turmoil of the soul." Really, because I was just trying to draw a cat. But despite the chaos, the mess, and the occasional existential crisis, there was something magical about those art classes. They taught us that creativity doesn't have to be perfect, that it's okay to make a mess, and that sometimes the best art comes from the most unexpected places. So here's to high school art classes, where chaos and creativity collide, and where every paint-splattered canvas tells a story. Usually a very confusing one, but a story nonetheless.